Hello everyone, this is Asura. There is a new pictures for the Aion2 are out. Let's take a look. So the first one is actually a picture of a skill. This skill comes from the archer, named Power Cone Arrow. Under this Power Cone Arrow, there are 3 icons. Weakening of physical attacks represents the characteristics of this skill. What about this thing? It will not be replaced with many standalone games now. This online game has similar settings. It is through such an official affix. And let you make a division of this skill. Then affix the following skills. Often comes with some linkage through this linkage of skill modules. Pair it with your own BD. Although on the PvE side, in the end, each profession has its own optimal BD. But on the PvP side, facing different career combinations, or follow your own operating habits. Finally, a set that you are used to. Your own favorite BD. It is also a game where the combat system can be extended. One of the ways to deepen. What about this skill? Is a direct damage plus recovery resource, adding dot damage as well. Then there's nothing to say about this. What is worth mentioning is the following. Specialization skills and the following affixes. Let's look at this affix first. Absorbs 20% of HP on hit. Then the bleeding duration increases. You can move when using skills, and ignore defense. Then when you crit, CD reset. First of all, since this last enhanced stripe is a critical strike, resetting the CD then means that the archer, the profession depends a lot on critical. The higher the critical hit, the stronger he is, kind of like an ad. Right, this is also very similar to the ADC, a critical strike ADC. What about the skill itself? It's a 5-second CD, 20 meters range, and then hit enemies for feet around the target. He has this upper limit on the number of attacks. It is also a skill that belongs to him to recover energy, right? After all, it is to restore this mental power. It should be a skill to restore energy. And this place he also showed a little bit of other. Here he clicked on his Q skill. There are 2 of these replace keys on it. There are 3 replace keys on the E skill. This is according to their own skills. Matching skills. Combined with your 1, 2, 3, 4, this skill is a set of skill modules. Some skills can only be placed in the 1, 2, 3, 4 keys. Some skills can only be placed in the keys 5, 6, 7, 8. Some skills can only be placed in the 2 keys Q and D. Some skills can only be placed in the left and right buttons of the mouse. This is such a good setting, right? Then you can freely match these keys. This key position can be changed. If 5, 6, 7, 8 keys are too far for you, you can change it to ZXCV. And then on the right, there is this skill. Above are active skills, below are passive skills. It should be to choose a few, as one of your own, active and passive, forming your own combo on the skill bar. Then upgrade the skill level. This should be ORD, right? The way this ORD obtained it is estimated to be PvE dungeons. Exploring PvP should be available. All kinds of activities. Let's get into equipment now. The first is the enhancement of this equipment. What about the strengthening of this equipment? For now, highest strengthen up is to level 15. What about strengthening the 0 to 10 range? Is a 100% success rate, consuming this reinforcement, and then spending a little bit of kina. That is, the game currency in this game. This reinforcement can be completed. 0 to 10 is 100% success. You just go and collect this reinforcement material. You can strengthen it to level 10. For level 10 and above, that is, adding 11 to adding 15, which is the probability, should belong to that kind. The higher the addition, the lower the probability. But don't worry about this. This is not a bottomless pit, because after adds 10 to this, each reinforcement fails. The system will automatically increase your certain success rate. That is equivalent to a guarantee system. Enhanced 11 to enhanced 15, he has a guarantee. So in this case, as long as you are playing it right, can option enough of this reinforcement material, and enough kina, you will definitely be able to strengthen it to 15. There will be no such situation where it is purely based on the luck. You can see what he's strengthening now. Equipment, this enhanced level. But what if, when you have better bow to replace him later, this bow can be decomposed? What about after decomposition? It will return all this reinforcement material, but this kina here will not be returned. It is equivalent to your hard consumption as kina. And this material, it's just an inverted object. Of course, it is also recommended that you, if you can damage monsters in the early stage, don't worry about upgrading this equipment to high. Avoid wasting kina in the early stage. Starting, we have very limited on kina. If we have EBS gear, exchange equipment. If you don't want it anymore, break it down. System will also return a portion of the abyss point. Okay. Move on. Is a surprise benefit from this game, the open world, or in the big world exploration. This is called a hidden backpack, treasure box in the wild. Treasure box can consume a backpack key, get the supplies in this treasure box, and the contents of this treasure box, usually some development props. This place we see him open, activated this hidden backpack. The next one is to open the hidden backpack. You can see that the scene is exactly the same. He has access to small ord energy, got the soul book, acquired a whole bunch of various things. Mainly he obtained a pet, Crawl Warrior. This UI is a relatively early UI. We also mentioned before, when Taiwan conducts the elite test, its version is very early stage, so this UI is already having very big difference. So we don't need to pay too much attention to this UI. Let's take a look at this pet, Crawl Warrior. It looks a bit like the demons from Lord of the Rings. First of all pets in this game, he will have riding, the effect of a mount. There will also be certain labels below. There is an understanding of pet. The understanding of things is a bit interesting. The more you get for this pet, can improve your understanding on him. What about this list of pets? There is a list on the left. You can see the collected pets. It should be a very large number. There was a 173 here. There are at least 173 species of this pet. Among them are those encountered in this open world. You can get it by fighting monsters. And some mount will also be sold directly in the mall. The black dragon which we see in previous videos. There's no lottery for this game, so they are all direct sales. The price will not be too abnormal. What about racial understanding? It should be to strengthen our pet. That is, all pets have a set of upbringing. Under these circumstances, if you are a full collector, if all players are developed, then you have a lot to do. You can infinitely develop. Yes, these 173 pets. Go get his racial. The level of understanding of this race stretches him. But if you are a lightweight gamer, you just have to choose the one or two you like. 2 or 3 kinds of this pet should be kept seriously, in addition to buying directly. Others are basically by farming. Kill a certain amount of this monster. Basically, you will get this probabilistically. There will also be a gain where there is a hold effect. What is this holding effect? We don't know yet. Well, in general, this pet system, it must be in this game. It's a very interesting system, and he'll follow us around. We run, he runs. We fly, he will follow. And, in this case, you can also turn it into a mount. And you can see here, it's a dungeon. Dungeon from Expedition. He marked out how many dungeons. What about this gram labor dungeon? This reward can be obtained. Level 45 gram labor. 1 to 4 people participate. Obtain this orange gear. It should be graduation equipment. Then condense energy in the backpack, this 014. And a little bit further down is this ord energy. Holding energy is 240. Then the energy consumption is 40. The number of challenges is 14. And here, conquer. In conquest mode, you need a tank and DPS. And a healer. Then gladiator and chanter can. Select the desired character. We can also take a look at this sentence. Inside the tank there are Templar and Gladiator. That is, both Templar and Gladiator can be tanker. As for DPS role, Gladiator, Assassin, Archer, Mage, Spirit Master, Chanter, this can be DPS. Well, only Templar can't be DPS. If you are in the auxiliary, the healer and the chanter. Among them, the chanter can be selected as in DPS. But the healer is not placed in the DPS side. In this regard, it seems that Gladiator and Chanter have natural advantages. That is, Gladiator and Chanter are both like this. Double profession. In this situation, it will be more popular. Then it's this dungeon. He has 2 kinds. One is you start your own team. Another option is to join quickly. And there is the option of forced entry. That is, you can find a relative or friend of your own. Friends are fighting. Hit the second boss, hit the third boss. If you want to join temporarily, you can join directly. Then here's a season. This is also a game with a season system. This season runs from September 1st to October 1st. It's only been a month. It should be phased. Do that kind of ranking every month. From my understanding, he just ranks it once a month, but Aion2 players should be familiar with this. He should have continued this kind of system from Aion2, the game that fixes the ranking once a month. Then after arranging the ranks, it will refresh. And then the second month ranking. That is equivalent to 1. According to the monthly ranking is such a game as an important note. Here, first of all, during the season, he has this kind of 1v1 arena. Then there is the Abyss Beyond Dungeon Nightmare Dungeon. Then this way, there will also be some season tasks. Season tasks such as completing the winning count. These are all our season tasks. In addition, it is the activities in all seasons. So for example, this 1-for-1 arena ranking, win rate points, Abyss ranking, etc. Every gameplay, season gameplay will have a ranking. In this situation, hardcore players will fight for ranking. PvP or PvE, there are ranking. And this is a page of a Dungeons of a Nightmare. First of all, there are a few bosses in the Nightmare Dungeon. There is a ranking point below. Then there is a ranking system. How long until the start of the season reset? Here will be the reward. Then the words on the right. It also comes with some initial rewards. This thing should be in the exchange store. You can exchange some supplies. There's something else about this place. You can see each boss is separate. Separate CDs are the same system as WoW. This is also more reasonable. The important thing about this photo is that we can see it's a team of 3. The captain of the 3-person team here is Archer. But currently, when fighting this dragon, definitely more than 3 people. The first is that there's a gladiator here. He obviously had a big sword in his hand. And then there seems to be another archer here. And there seems to be another person here. Then because the picture is not very clear, there are at least 2 people here. It could be 3 or even 4 people. And there's a mage. And here's our first perspective. There seem to be other targets next to the boss, including whether this is also a player or another monster summoned by the boss, and I can't see it clearly. There must be more than 3 of them. As for the UI, we still say that there is no need to look at it, because the UI has changed to some extent now. And here, a store closet, wardrobe. The first is where it's important. This is awesome. In addition, it is this necklace. Look at this necklace. It has an appearance, and it looks like a penguin. Yes, penguin. So this game, he is not just all equipped with appearance. All his trinkets also have appearances, and you can see it. This appearance is sold in the store here. It seems like the selling price, but he gave some accessories. The price of this sale is not very expensive. Then the store includes sets. That is the appearance set, armor cover, armor appearance, weapon appearance, jewelry appearance, and various props. The equipment side also has his equipment appearance. Then direct purchase. Just buy it directly in the lower right corner. And then there's some of this photography in the lower left corner. Overall, a game that can make the jewelry look like still very sincere. In addition, this is really awesome.